Hey there guys, it's Julia from Geek FX again, and today I'm going to be showing you this look, which is Geralt from The Witcher 3. So I'm going to be doing just, my normal base makeup, putting some foundation on. I'm doing it a few shades darker than my skin tone, just to kind of, you don't see very super pale males. So this is the first time I've done something like this. I've never kind of done female to male transition in cosplay makeup. I've always done female characters. So this was actually a lot of fun to do. And I would definitely, I'm definitely going to do more of these. And also, I'm really sorry for really bad lighting. I am in my new flat and I'm still kind of trying to find out where I'm going to record all my new videos and find the best place to do it all. This, I don't think, is the best place, but we'll see. So when I've blended that in, I'm going to use my Colour Fix contour palette, the darkest shade, and I'm going to kind of bring my cheeks in, give myself really good cheekbones, because he does have very good cheekbones. I also need to make my face shape a lot manlier than it is. So I just kind of blend that all in. I'm not too worried about kind of blending it in properly like I would with an everyday makeup, just because we are going to put the beard in, so you're not really going to see much of it anyway by the end of it. And then I go in with the same dark shade and a small angled brush, and because he is quite an old gentleman, we do need to make all those wrinkle lines, so you just pull a hell of a lot of funny faces and you give him some smile lines and you give him some wrinkles and you make him look really old and really angry, because that's what we're going for. And once you're happy with that, I'm going to switch palettes to this really big one that I have. And I'm going to use this dark brown colour. And I'm going to darken out like my eye socket area by my eyebrows. Because he has very kind of like sunken shades. It's hard to describe. Obviously, if you've seen it, if you've played The Witcher, you'll 100% know who I'm on about. You'll know exactly what I'm meaning by this. And then I grab my big fluffy brush and kind of a black grey shade, and I start buffing in where I'm gonna have the outline of the beard. So obviously, mainly cheek, the chin area, And obviously my mustache. Um, the chin area is quite strange because at each side of his lips he has quite a bald patch in the bottom, bottom corners. So it was quite hard to, get those so they look quite natural. If I was to do it again, I'd probably I don't know, I'd probably do a bit more contouring, a bit of highlight too. And I'm absolutely loving this beard thing. Like, it's really cool. I want a beard. I really wish I could grow one. And once you're happy with the outline, I use this Mayron palette, and I use the grey and the white, and I use this kind of stippling sponge, and I just dab it on, dab it in the colour, then dab it on my face. I do dab rather than swipe, because I feel like that gave me a more kind of realistic hair, look, rather than kind of swiping it down. It didn't look very realistic. It looked like you were trying to fake the hairs. It was quite obvious. You can obviously, if you want, get a little artist brush and paint the hairs on individually, but for the sake of this tutorial I didn't want it to go on for like hours, so I did use this method, and I think it turned out really well. So once I was happy with the grey, then I went in with the white colour as well and stippled all of there to kind of give it, again, some more texture, highlight, contours. And he is more of a grey-white in his beard, and especially on his hair as well, so I just kind of went in with all the different shades. I do also go in on my eyebrows with it, because he has quite your white highlights in his eyebrows, but he doesn't really have them tamed, which is why I didn't really do much with my eyebrows, as I could have drawn them on, but I'd have just drawn them on to draw wispy hairs on, and that would have ended up slightly more pointless, so I didn't do any of that. I just left it as it was. I then go in again with this palette and the black to shade the areas in the kind of bold spots that he's got here under his chin, under his lip even, and then around the kind of end of his beard. And then just darken them up again. I then do kind of fill in my eyebrows a little bit, but I don't really do much with it. I just throw on some eyeshadow, make them look, a bit thicker, because I don't really have very thick eyebrows. He kind of does, but they're quite wispy in the same sense. I then take this makeup palette and I use the purple and black shades on my lips. I just use my finger for this because there's no point in using a brush for your lips, frankly. But I put the purple on first and then some black to darken them up. Because if you do look at his lips, they are more of a purple black than a natural kind of pinky colour. And then now to the fun bit. So I use this lip and eyeliner pencil in the red shade to create the scars on his face when I remember which side they're on. For this, I actually literally just draw a line over my eyebrow. I filled it in a bit because this one was relatively new, which is why I'm using a red shade. And then the one under his eye again, same thing, I just draw it on. And then when I'm happy with it, I switch over to the pink eye and lip liner and do the scar on his forehead, which is a slightly older scar, so it's slightly more healed. Then I use my rigid collodion and I put layers on, put a layer on, let it dry, put another layer on, let it dry, etc. I do that about four or five times just to make it perfect, because then it gives you the best kind of sunken in look. And when it's dry, it should look like this. As you can see on my skin, it's very sunken in, as if they were quite, well healed. Then what I do to kind of tone them down a little bit is I just use some foundation. I just kind of put it on my finger, dab it on the scars, and then use my stippling brush to blend it in again. Mainly because, they're not that super red naturally, so you do want to tone them down, make it slightly less obvious. And then the final step that I did was I used the Mayron white hair and I just put it on a brush. I used an old foundation brush that I don't use, and you run it through your hair. Obviously, I kind of have this rainbow root thing going on at the moment, so if I had just kept my hair all black, it would have been really effective and looked very similar to what his hair looks like. Obviously, it kind of doesn't, because it's rainbow, but it is a really easy way of getting your hair similar to his without having to buy a wig. And then this is the final look. So obviously, like and subscribe, do the usual. I hope you really enjoyed this look. I know I did. I walked around the house for the rest of the day like this. And I'll see you next time.